Guys, Mr. Burt here again. Today is October 21st. So we're going to be continuing on with our lessons today. I want to just give you kind of a heads up on what's going on. So let's get into it. All right. You should see me appear in the lower right hand corner now. And let's go to the October 21st lesson today in your slides. And we're going to be working with evidence today, identifying strong evidence. So we're going to continue our work with CER. And at the basic level of that is identifying strong evidence, right? Because when we have answers, we want to be able to support them. And so the first thing we need to really learn how to do is identifying, first of all, what evidence is. And I think you guys already have a grasp on that. But secondly, now as 8th graders, we need to start differentiating what's strong and what's weak. So that way we can pick what works best and what might best support our claim versus what might be kind of relevant, but not really very strong. So that's what we're going to get into today. For your do now, if you are at home today, I just want you to think and write. Notice that the discussion is just for the in-class people. So at home, think and write in your notes. When you're trying to support a claim, what makes a piece of evidence stronger than another? And I would like you to just to put and list down some, like 3 to 5 items that you think would make something stronger, and just kind of get your brain working on that. So just take 1 to 2 minutes to put that into your notebook, and then when you're done, we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so what I want you to do on this slide here is you're going to watch the video on the right. Let's go ahead and go into full screen mode. So what you're going to do is watch this little video clip on the right just to kind of give yourself a little bit of background about what this movie was and what was kind of happening in the story. So when you're ready, you can click on that. After you're done, what I'd like you to do is look through this list on the left side and think to yourselves, which of the following seem to be the strongest support for the claim? Now notice the claim's in yellow, so if we go down here to the yellow, it's cut off for you guys a little bit, but you should be able to see it in your slideshow. It says Chris Gardner is determined to get the job. That's what you're trying to support with the best evidence, strong versus weak. So on the next slide, what you're going to do is you're going to exit out of present mode so that you can maybe do this with it. What you're going to do here is take which of these and just move them over and just reorder them. I'm not doing these in any particular order. I'm just showing you that you can rearrange them and that you can put them over. And then say you get one over here that's like in the wrong spot. You go, oh, I actually want this up here. Just make sure that you have all of them visible, all right? And just put them over there and practice. If you guys are at home, you may not be able to edit the slides and actually move those. So instead, what I would like you guys to do is just simply rewrite these in the order in your notes that you think is strongest to weakest. Shouldn't take too long. These are only like 1 sentence and they're very short details. So if you are at home today, you're going to just rewrite these in your notes, strongest to weakest. And if you want to rank them and number them, that's fine. In class, we'll do something a little different. On the next slide, you will, to check your answers and to see how you did, look, I know you can go to the next slide and just look at the right answers and then put the right answers in your notes, but let's not do that. We want to see what we actually know and what we actually do when we practice. So those of you at home, once you're done redoing that, you're going to make sure that you're in present mode. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the answers. Notice this box is in the way, right? So once you click, it should disappear. And then you just have to click a couple more times. So then you're going to see what pops up. And you may have gotten a few answers there, but regardless, you got to reorder the rest. So when you guys are done with that, that was practice. Your homework today is to do something very, 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 very similar. You're going to choose 3 pieces of evidence for 2 different tables. One table's in green, one table's in red. And there's 2 parts of the same claim. What you're going to do is you're going to choose between 8 different pieces of evidence, and you're going to choose the 3 best ones. And you're going to order them strongest to weakest. So really the weakest in here is really the 3rd best, because the weakest ones, you're going to leave 5 more details in the table that aren't going to be chosen by you. And then the same thing for the red table. You're going to pick the 3 best tables and then order those strongest to okay to weakest. Let's go ahead and just look at that assignment a little bit more close up. Having some technical difficulties, you guys. Never mind, figured it out. Okay, let's go back to the homework. All right, so here's what your homework looks like. It says, let's just read through the directions together. It says, choose 3 pieces of evidence from the text. Again, those are listed all the way down here at the bottom. Notice the green table for evidence for this one and red table for this one. We'll explain that in a minute. So that's where your evidence is, at the bottom. So you're gonna, for both parts of the claim, that she was warm and loving, and also that she was crazed and murderous toward the end. You can copy, which is Control C, or if you're using an Apple, it's Command C, and then paste, Control V or Command V. You can copy and paste the evidence from the tables below and put them into the graphic organizer up here. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Actually, let's just do it now. So I'm not picking anything in particular. Let's just say I wanted to use this one as my strongest one. I'm going to highlight this. I can do this by taking my mouse cursor and highlighting the whole thing the old-fashioned way. Or here's a tip. If you triple click 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it'll highlight the whole thing. Press Control, hold it down, C will copy it, and then it'll stay there. And then we're going to go up to the table where we want to put it. Say this is my strongest piece of evidence. I'm going to click right here next to the quote mark, and then I'm going to hold Control and then press V to paste. And as simple as that, there it is. And then when I was ready, I could go back and find my next one. Again, I'm not picking any one in particular. I could bring it back up, click next to the quote mark, Control V again, and then there it is in there. And you're going to do this in order what you think is the strongest to the weakest out of the 8 here. So again, you're picking the 3 best ones and then ordering them strongest to weakest up here. But really, the weakest details are going to be the 5 details that you leave in the table and that you don't pick. Okay? When you're done with the first, so the first table, here, your full claim is that Mary Maloney is a dynamic character because she changes from being a warm and loving wife to a crazed and murderous woman by the end of the story. So we're going to break that claim into 2 parts, which is why we have 2 different tables and 2 different sets of evidence. So the first table is about supporting that Mary Maloney was warm and loving. So we're going to go down to the green table, and you're going to look for evidence that she was warm and loving. And if you don't know what warm means, it means loving, all right? So it means the same thing, that she was polite, kind, aware of her husband's needs, and you're going to pick the 3 best details and then order them best to least up here. Also notice that this box in red asks, how does your strongest details support the claim above? That's where you're going to provide your reasoning, kind of like you would in a CER answer, but I'm only making you do this for the strongest piece of evidence instead of all 3. Okay, so make sure that that part is filled out as well, and then you just have to cite the other 2. When you're done with this table, you're going to go down and do the second part of the claim in table number 2. And claim number 2 is that Mary Maloney was a crazed and murderous woman. And notice that we have to find evidence, copy and paste below from the red table. So we're going to scroll down even further. And in the red table, we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. Control C to copy. And then once we find our 3 best pieces of evidence, we're going to make sure that we Control V, paste them up here. We're going to explain why our strongest piece of evidence supports the claim above as part of our reasoning. It should be about 2 to 3, like 1 to 2 sentences at least. And then cite the other 2 in the order you need them in. If you guys have any trouble with this assignment, please shoot me an email and let me know. You can catch me during office hours from 2 o'clock to 2:30, and also during 4th, 5th, or 6th period during the day. That works mostly best for you guys at home. You can catch me between 11 a.m. and 1 a.m., all right, if you shoot me an email. So good luck with the assignment. Make sure that this is done. It is due tonight at midnight. So a couple more announcements about that. Late fees are coming active now, which means if it's a day late, it's 5% off. 2 days to 2 weeks late is 15% off, and over 2 weeks late is 20% off. You have till the end of the quarter, and the end of the quarter for quarter 1 is in 2.5 weeks. So you have a little over 2 weeks to get any and all work made up. Otherwise, it will be zeroed out, and you will not have another chance at it. And then also notice that due dates are becoming a little bit shorter. I extended your due dates at the beginning of the year to give you guys a little bit more ample time to get your stuff done, but now we should be in habit of how this works and what things look like in Mr. Burt's class. And so you noticed yesterday's assignment was due the same day at midnight, and today's assignment is also due at midnight. So please make sure you are diligent and showing up and doing the work. Last announcement, with binder checks on a weekly basis, I'm now adding in participation grades, which means if you've done the attendance for the day and you showed up and did the work that day, you will get points for just simply being in class, whether you are at home or at school. So as long as you are here or you have let me know that you would be absent and I excused it, you will get your participation points for the week. But if you continue to skip and not show up for remote classes, which most of you are doing, you're going to lose some easy points on your participation grades. Any questions about that, come in the next time you see me with it, and we can chat about that. But notice on binder checks, it will also be adding in points now for attendance on the week. I will be starting that this week. So if you haven't shown up this week, you've already lost a point or two, depending on how many days you missed. In the meantime, good luck with the assignment. We'll see you guys next time. All right. See you later.